Today we're going to be installing a lower parts kit in one of our clients' lower receivers that he purchased, standard issue armory. This is serialized number 50. It's the last of this batch. As you know, ours come with the threaded bolt catch, the threaded rear takedown pin, and they're true low shelf. The Armaspec lower parts kit comes with your trigger guard, selector switch, which is ambidextrous, as well as your takedown pins and your mag release and your bolt catch. However, your bolt catch doesn't come colored, just your standard bolt catch. Also comes with your grip screw. First, we're going to be installing the fire control group. You want to find your your spring. You have two here, one for your hammer, one for your trigger. It looks like this for those of you first time doing this. There's your trigger spring. Find that part, your trigger. And simply put that over one side. Can be a little tricky, but that's how it should look. That should go in that crease right there. That's how it should sit on your trigger. You know, you've installed it right if it looks like that, okay? I like to call these antennas. Your antennas are facing down right there, okay? Once you've done that, you'll find the spring that you need. This tiny little spring, sometimes in lower parts kits they'll come colored, but the way you can tell it's the right spring that you have, one end will be wider than the other. That simply slides right into that hole right there. Right there, it should stay, it should lock into place. Do not mistakenly use your bolt catch spring, wrong spring. That's the same size all the way through. This one is bigger on one end. Then you'll take your disconnector, find this part right here, slide it right on there. Oh, I would like to add that we do use Lucas gun oil. They're not paying me to say that, but we put 2 drops of gun oil right here. We recommend always lubing them up. Can never have enough lube. Some of these lower parts kits do come with a guide pin. We like to use these. Makes it much easier to get your pins through your firearm. If you do have one of these, you can simply put that right through here. Might have to wiggle it a little bit. But that holds all of that in place, so when you do drop it in, it's easier to get your pin through, okay? If you don't have one of those, you're gonna hold this together. Have your trigger facing this direction, just like it would sit in the firearm. And those antennas are gonna sit towards the front, towards your mag well. It's gonna drop right in there like that. It's just gonna sit right there. Push down. When I hold it, when I push down, it helps gets that hole lined up, ready for your pin. Now, your fire control group pins, they're gonna look identical. You're gonna have 2 of those. So 2 pins that look the same. They got grooves, 1 groove on an end and then a groove in the middle and then no groove on the other end. I always like to say these pins go in from this side, your takedown pins go in from the other side. But your fire control group pin, you'll find that hole right there. That guide helps you too because it holds it all together, and you just turn this sideways here and put that sucker right there. Be careful, you know, you're not gonna break it, you know, these are 70-75 aluminum, but you do wanna be gentle and you don't wanna accidentally scratch your lower receiver. See, I have mine partially in there. What it's gonna do is push that out the other side and keep that all locked in place. So I'm gonna stick my thumb in here, and a good way to do this, you can wiggle that around a little bit, back and forth, and then boom, you get it all the way through. What you want is that you want that to be flush with your lower, and you can see it drop the pin right out right there. So, oh, this is our upper receiver, by the way. We do have a side charging handle with rear charging handle and side charging handle upper that is in the works right now. So, anyways, there's your trigger. Now for your hammer. These can be kind of obnoxious for some folks, but you find this part. This is your hammer. And what you're going to do, and see that this can get kind of tricky too. I try to let people know you take it like this and line it up. Okay, if you're holding it like this, you want the straight line towards you when you're holding your hammer forward, like it would sit in the lower. Okay? I'm sorry, I take that back. It sits like this in there. So you're going to simply slide that right there. See what I did there? You put it on like that, then you spin it around. This should rest on the top side. See how that springs like that? You're going to have to pause this video to see it, but your straight line should sit like this, and your spring on there just like that. Now, as before, we use that guide pin, which I have 2 of them here. We're going to put that sucker right here, because that's going to help guide it through whenever we go to do this, whenever we go to hammer this through here. Which even that can be kind of tricky, but it's in there. Now this is the tricky part. You're going to want to put your, what I like to call antennas, over. See how I'm doing that? I'm laying it over the trigger right there. I'm putting them right there. And this is going to take a lot of pressure, but you have to push this down. And what you're trying to do is you're applying pressure down here. You're trying to get that hole right on that hole there. So what I like to do is bend it in. See how there's that springy action going on? Leave that there and push this down and line it up. And what helps hold it there is simple. See? Oh, you got to be careful. You can get assistance with your trigger down there, because it'll lock it in. And once it clicks, boom, it's locked in. You just don't want to let go. So slide that over there. Push it down into this corner. It's going to be a pain, but I do it with my left hand. Boom, snap it in place. Now I'm still holding it with my left hand, because I'm right-handed, and I'm lining that up. See how that's lined up right there? Just like that. See that? It's lined up. I'm holding it down. And always remember, you're going to be hitting these in. I'll show you a better way to hold this thing. Let me set this down. I'm just trying to show you. It's better to hold it there. Set it down on a table or something, or on your vise, your workstation. Slide it down. See? See how it's in place? But don't trust that, because it could go flying. So what you'll do is you'll hold it there. Once you have it in place and you hold it there, you can flip this around and get that right down there. You want to take the end with the thread, with the grooves in it, grooves in that side, grooves in right